This next comic, this is a big treat. He's one of my comedy brothers. He runs amazing shows up in Bradford, Ontario, if you're ever up there. Give it up for Mr. Greg Enwright.
Yeah, keep going for Nick Terry, your host tonight, everybody. Yeah, and for yourselves, we made it. We made it. I don't know how you guys have done. I've never navigated a pandemic before, but fucking crushing it, I think. Right? Judging by the silence in the room, you guys are in it too. Because you guys are probably with me. I don't want to divide the room. I'm not anti-pro anything. I'm anti-stay the fuck away from my paycheck. That's it, right? But I think we all can agree over the last 25 months we realized we got some crazy fucking relatives, right? Yeah, my Uncle John, psycho, fucking turns out. Great fucking dude pre-pandemic. After third dose that I got, laid into me. He's like, how the fuck do you put that shit in your body? I'm like, whoa, Uncle John, I've seen you put cocaine into your nose. From the back of a toilet. In Barrie. At a gas station. Like, what? During the pandemic. Like, do you know what you're putting in your body? Because I do. Hepatitis for fucking sure, okay? He's like, you can't put that in your body. He couldn't pick a lane. He had two crazy lanes. He's like, the government's in the vaccine, and there's Nazis. I'm like, you gotta fucking decide, okay? Right? It can't be fucking both, right? And I'm like, listen, I only got the vaccine. I got two little kids. I got two kids. I got a 3.5-year-old son and a 22-month-old daughter. I'm just doing what I think I gotta do is right. I don't want to judge anybody. Do whatever the fuck you want to do to your body. I don't give a shit. Just stay the fuck away from my paycheck, okay? That was really quiet. Are you guys like millionaires or something? You're like, yeah, touche, stay away from our boardwalk empire. Touche. It's fucking not so. He didn't let it go. He's like, do you know that shit can make you infertile? I'm like, whoa, if it makes me infertile, give me dose 4, 5, and fucking 6 right now. Yeah. Do you know how expensive it is to have 2 kids in daycare right now? Whole pandemic, pulling off my mask, dropping the kids off, kissing them, putting on the mask, turning around the parking lot, taking off the mask, sucking dick, putting the mask on, taking the money. Going in the daycare, giving them the money, getting in the car, going, what the fuck is in my body? Like, fucking Jesus. Just doing what I gotta do. Fuck me. Now here's the thing too, like we all lost. I don't wanna paint the last 25 months, a lot of people suffered. For me, it was a bit different. Beginning of the pandemic, we found out our 3.5-year-old son was diagnosed with autism, but don't worry, it's not like we found out he was a vegan or something. Right? The doctor's like, your son's autistic. I'm like, can he eat bacon? He's like, do you know what autism is? I'm like, but he can eat bacon, right? He's like, yes, he'll suffer socially and make poor eye contact. I'm like, but the bacon's a go, right? It's amazing, right? And he's nonverbal. And here's the thing, the last 25 months, me and my wife and my 3.5-year-old son, to get over that hurdle, we learned American Sign Language, right? And that would have never happened if we didn't have a pandemic. Yeah, you can applaud that. But just settle down, because the next day gave him up for adoption. Get the fuck out of here, okay? We're good. Go fucking be somebody, right? Just kidding, of course, he's still with us. There's one thing he can do though, he can say one word. He can say shirt. He'll come up to me and point and go shirt. And it's amazing, because there is nothing fucking cuter than a toddler in a grown man's t-shirt. I don't give a shit, right? So he'll come up and go, shirt, and I'll take it off. I'm like, of course, buddy, I put it on him, but I put it on him too quick, and also hits his head. I'm like, oh, upsie daisy, don't tell mommy how bad of a dad I am. Wait a minute, you don't talk. You're not gonna fucking tell her shit. That's okay. I'm not gonna tell her about those 2 Ryan Cokes Daddy had before 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, because I'm a good fucking time. Right, so we taught him a little Canadian Sign Language. I'm watching the Leaf game, they got knocked out of the playoffs. I'm like, oh shit, my son's looking at me, making eye contact. Anytime he looks at me, I gotta focus in, because it's a learning opportunity, right? So he looks at me, he sees me getting upset, I'm looking at the TV, I'm like, ah. And I see him looking at me, I'm like, Jacob, the Leaves fucking suck. He just nods at me, I'm like, he's learning, right? Progressing. We're in a Walmart. I always talk to my son like he understands everything that's going on, because he does. Right? He's grabbing some toys. He grabs a Ninja Turtle. I'm like, you want that Ninja Turtle? Boom, put it in the cart. Want that Lightning McQueen? Ka-chow, there you go. but I hear his feet stop shuffling, and you have to pay attention. When your son's nonverbal, it's a predator's wet dream, okay? Because he's not gonna fucking say nothing, so I gotta, where are you? Where'd you go? Right? And he's looking at me. And it's a huge deal. And he looks up, and I gotta get through this. He says, Daddy. And I'm like, oh my God, he said my name. And in that moment, I'm like, what I've been doing is right. You know what I mean? Like, this is your purpose here. Things are gonna be okay. Yeah, no, let me get, fuck you, Toronto, let me get through it. And he goes, Daddy, shirt, peas, and he signs the word please. I'm like, oh my God, of course. And I take off my coat and I throw my shirt over top of him. And of course it was too quick and hits his head. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he goes, help. I'm like, did you say help? We gotta tell your mom. And I pick him up and I run out of the Walmart, not realizing from every other adult's perspective, a half-naked man in Walmart just ran out with a bundled up toddler screaming for help. So when the cops gave me my son back, I called my wife. I'm like, oh my God, he said Daddy's shirt. She's like, oh, that's amazing. Why are the cops calling? I'm like, never fucking mind. And here's the thing too, right? Here's the thing. When I know things are going well, I know things are going great for him, he'll kiss me on my lips. And a lot of people shit on dads who kiss their sons on their lips. They think it's too effeminate, you're gonna ruin them. Well, I'll tell you what, listen, okay? You know who kisses his son on his lips? Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl champ. Yeah. Where's your Super Bowl rings, you pieces of shit? Then I realized Tom Brady's son is not autistic and he's 15. That's fucking gross, Tom Brady. What the fuck are you doing? So my son, right, I'm dropping him off at daycare and I know it's coming. He's having a great morning and I drop him off and he pulls down my mask, he puts his hands on my cheeks and I know it's coming. He kisses me and all I can tell you guys, I can't put into words, it's as if he's the missing piece that makes me whole. I know that everything's gonna be okay. It's the most beautiful thing. And I look over to my right, there's this lady dropping off her daughter. She sees that she gets emotional. She goes, I'm so sorry. That was beautiful. And I'm a bit embarrassed, but I just, thank you. And my son he goes to walk away. And I look over, and she looks at her daughter and goes, okay, now Becky, you have a great day in daycare, Mama loves you. Becky takes her hands and puts them on her mom's cheeks and goes, fuck you, just goes into daycare. I look at my son, I'm like, son, don't you ever say a word. Daddy loves you. Now I gotta go suck some dick to pay for this shit because it's expensive. Guys, I'm Greg Enwright. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.